Yes, people, what's going on? Not for the radio. Myself, Viz, Posty in the house. Another big NFTR interview. We got Tiny Boost in the building. Cheese. You see them big round of applause there.
Welcome. If you didn't know, Strictly for the Streets is out now.
Out now. Let's start with that.
Digital platforms.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So why'd you call it Strictly for the Streets? What was in your mind when you called it that?
Yeah, Strictly for the Streets. Real and true, I want to call that Strictly for the Nam, you get me? Because that's who I make my music for, really, myself and my people. But, you know, being around so many, you know, brothers like myself and that in the system and on the roads, I think, you know, I got to do it for them as well. So I feel like spreading the love, and I know it's not just people from Peckham that relate to the music, you know what I'm saying? So streets, that's what we did, Strictly for the Streets.
I can't I haven't met you that many times, but when I meet you, you're not tiny, bro. Why?
He was, though, back in the day.
Was you tiny back in the day, would you say?
No, when I see you, when
I first met you, I thought you was quite small.
No way.
Yeah,
I just come out of the jail. I was, what?
Nah, you was quite small. You was quite small. I met Boost like about 10 years ago. Yeah. I think that was the first time I filmed actually, what the fuck?
Sorry, there's a car, an Audi that's parked that Bear's trying to get to move out. I don't know whose Audi it is, if anyone in here needs something to ask.
It's kind of crazy.
No.
He needs a sack, bro.
Yeah, we're going to chat to him after. But let's just go from... all right, cool. Let's just go from... when we met, I met Boost about 10 years ago at Unit 10. I think you might have been like the third rappers I filmed. I came to link gigs in Unit 10. And you was quite small then, but ever since you came out on this recent occasion...
I actually thought I was kind of... Nah, you need to get that footage back,
I don't know.
Because I was
the footage is there.
But bro, your name's Tiny Boost. How can you be offended by being small?
Because I just come out of jail. I got my little gym on them time there, so I'm thinking...
Nah, there was definitely no gym.
I was only 18 them time there anyway, but...
All right, so let's take it back.
The name meaning, really and truly, it's just... That's just like Peckham stuff, you know. Like, that's just how we come around there, you know. Like, names just get given to you. So, just to break it down easy, your name's Viz. If you like someone, like, as a little brother, you just say, yeah, you're Young Viz. And then Young Viz continues it on and turns the next guy into Tiny Viz and so on and so forth. So, that's how I got the name, innit?
All right, then.
Shout out Boost.
All right, so let's take it back to those early days in the NAM. PYG.
Yeah, what you talking?
Break that all down. Talk to us about how you got into the game rapping with that.
Rapping wise, you know, just like literally true. I grew up in like the old school garage grime era. You know, like all of that, like Dizzy, Wiley, Crazy Titch, Gets, Wretch, all of that. All them DVDs. I was doing the grime kind of thing back then, like as a kid, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, in like where I'm from South and that, like it wasn't really a grime thing.
Let's talk about that really quickly. Like there was a stigma back in the day, right? There was a divide, especially in South where like a lot of South, obviously there's legendary grime artists from South.
Yeah, Roadside and that.
Yeah,
it was kind of grimy.
But a lot of man was just like not feeling grime them times. There was a stigma like if you're doing grime, you're a bit soft.
Yeah, I don't. You know what it is? I don't know why. I can't explain why that was. Because even like the Roadside, their grime, it was kind of to me different to
Roadside G's.
Yeah, Roadside G's. Like it was kind of different to the east side of things. Like it was just, I don't know. I think South just got a. I don't know if it's an infection or a fascination with just being on some, like gangster kind of stuff. So, you get me? I swear even that thing was called Gangster Grime in Roadside, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. So, it just didn't really, it came and it kind of just went, you know what I'm trying to say? I think Lewisham Mutes kind of had a bit of grime, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you had acts like Little D and P Money.
Yeah, South Soldiers and that.
Yeah. And big them up.
And Essentials and that. You get me? Yeah. I'm old school like that.
Yeah, shout out Essentials, shout out Roadside G's.
So
Little D.
So you dabbled in grime, you played with it for a little while. Yeah. And then you kind of, how did you get up into Sn1, the rap collective?
Okay, the rap wise now, obviously, when the grime thing kind of died out, like, I was just like hardcore, like rap, like US rap, obviously at the time. You get me? Channel U as well. So, you know, I'm just listening to Bear D Block, Bear flipping Fabulous, 50, all of that. And yeah, like I just started writing, and then times at the same time, like Giggs was putting on for the ends, you know, like that. Like he was like Giggs been like a celebrity for us, man. How he is now in the ends from way
Long
back
time.
when, like long time, you know what I'm trying to say? So Giggs was a heavy influence, and then obviously I was with my set at the time, you get me? And I was just like, bruv, we might as well just follow what them man's doing and start making music, like, and put on for the ends as well, you know what I'm trying to say? So I started putting on my guys on that PYG and that, we just going hard, Bluetooth days, MP3s, all of that, all over the ends. And then somehow it's found the ears of Giggs, and then not somehow, it's obvious it was gonna happen, but like obviously we're on the street as well, so they're seeing us, music. I just kept going hard and hard, and I just get the request first. He put man on the Welcome to Boonsville, you know what I'm saying? Like made me and my guys do that. Then he put me on Hard Body, you know what I mean? I got on there, and then by the time I knew it, I got a call one day, and he was just like, bruv, I'm gonna need you to be Sn1, like, what do you think about that? And I was just like, yeah, I've been waiting for this anyway, you know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, but I just made sure I was still PYG at the same time though, you get me?
So with PYG, was it actually, obviously you were a group of friends, but how serious of a rap collective was it? Because like, maybe say for example, there was like 30 PYGs, were all 30 of them musicians, or how did it actually work?
No, we had a couple extras for, like, you know what I'm saying, extra curricular activity and that, but it was mainly music. Like there was a lot of man rapping. There was at least 10 man rapping, you know what I'm saying? But obviously we didn't know the game or nothing like that, or we just wanted to just make people hear Peck a minute, like, you know, be on the DVDs, whatever. Like we were probably like the first young guys on YouTube and that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like if this was like, I feel like, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but I feel like he was definitely one of the first young, most edgy kind of rappers out there. As in, like, obviously nowadays you get like a lot of young people doing drill and stuff like that who are quite edgy, but you was one of the first people that was kind of like in the limelight, young, angry, you know what I'm trying to say, and making angry music, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you think of drill?
Yeah, like drill to me is just basically, it's a different sound, obviously, like kind of, but it's all rap, like, you know what I'm saying? Drill, if the music's good, the music's good, innit? I ain't got no problem with the drill. Like, put it this way, I probably would have been doing drill if I was that age now.
Yeah, you would have been the drilliest.
I would have been the drilliest.
The drilliest,
like facts, you know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, that's a good one. I would have been the drilliest out there right now. You know, that's a fact, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so I ain't got no problem with drill. I fuck with drill. I fuck with K-Trap, fuck with 6-7 and all the rest of them, you know what I mean?
So, obviously, when you was up and coming and stuff like that in your younger days, obviously, Giggs obviously must have had a vision, because he is who he is now in the rap game, and he was who he was then in the rap game.
He signed you to his label, right? Was it No Bullshit?
What, right now?
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh no, bullshit. No, there was no paperwork, nothing back then.
Okay.
That was just straight.
However you signed, you signed.
Yeah, you signed. Like, okay, just with it. You know what I mean?
All right.
So yeah, so basically, he must have encouraged you. You probably wasn't in the mind frame of thinking that you wanted to be a rapper.
Nah.
What kind of stories can you tell us about him trying to get you on the straight and narrow?
When I come out of jail, the time he was talking about, no, actually it was another time, but around them time I come out of jail, so he said to me, listen, I wanna, we gotta do this mixtape, this double tape, you know what I mean? That was who said that, you know what I'm saying? So he's like to me, cut a long story short, fast forward, one time he booked a studio session for me in the unit, and he's telling me, yeah, just go there from this time and, you know, bang out the tunes that you got laid, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, cool. But like I said at the time, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not racing to make no music, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I must have got there about 3 hours later than the time that he booked me for, you know what I'm saying? So I got there and he come like 20 minutes after I got there. So when he's got there, he can't hear no new boost coming out of the thing. And the look he gave me was so much disappointed. Like, I remember he said exactly that. He said, what? You just got here now? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, he just gave me that look like, what are you playing at? You know what I'm trying to say? And I was thinking, bro, like, are we taking this serious? You know what I'm trying to say? But I banged out. That's the day I made New York Minute and that. You know what I'm trying to say? If you know the tape.
Yeah,
you know
I remember that one,
saying? So I banged out New York Minute and I banged out one tune for him to jump on. I banged out like 3-4 tunes, probably about 2 hours. Then that's just smoothed it over like one time. Like, you know what I was there. So yeah, he's been trying to push me in that direction from early, but I just didn't know.
And obviously your recent stretch, how long was that for, your most recent?
I just did that 8.5, man. 8.5 behind that door.
It's a big stretch. And the thing about that sentence, break it down because I don't actually understand. Yeah. You didn't have a release date, which is crazy.
The technical terms of it, man's an IPP prisoner, you feel me? So that basically means you get sentenced to a minimum time, not a maximum. My minimum time was 5 years, you feel me? I ended up doing 3.5 years on top of that due to music, you feel me? Because actually, furthermore, it's not even, 18 months of it was due to music, but initially, after your minimum time, you go out for parole, you see what I'm saying? So when you go out for parole, they ask you, like, what are you requesting to have? Are you requesting to have immediate release or you're requesting to go to open jail, you know what I'm saying? And your probation, and they'll be making recommendations, you understand? So my probation, obviously at the time, me being who I am, they're not trying to let me out on after my 5. So they're recommending I go to open jail, which I kind of anticipated already. So I was like, cool, I'm going to go open jail. That alone got me 18 months in open jail on top of the 5 that I'd just done already. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward a bit more time now, I end up making I was in open jail. Open jail is where you get the day releases and the overnight releases and that. So on my first day release, I made the freestyle popping and that. Yeah, I made that. Sent it to the obviously sent it to gigs, sent it to all them people, and you know, just flipping. It got out there. I think you lot premiered that for man, innit? Popping. Yeah, you did.
Believe so.
I know you got a lot of work. You might not remember.
Yeah.
You lot premiered it for man. Obviously, the radio stations was playing it.
So it wasn't a freestyle because I thought it was a freestyle.
No, it weren't like live freestyle. No, it was
okay.
It was a freestyle audio.
Yeah.
That was running on radio and all of that, but it weren't like live freestyle. Nothing to do with me linking nobody or being at a
that's
station.
what I thought, is linking someone to do a freestyle.
I put the song out. You feel me? So when the song come out, obviously it's doing its numbers and that, it's doing its rounds, and then obviously police got wind of it. Police contacted my probation, like, yo, They end up transcripting the song, you know what I'm saying, talking about the lyrics. And to cut a long story short, when you're in open jail, you got to be of a certain risk. Like, they've categorized you as. So man's a low risk in some sense, you know what I mean? That's why I'm here. My probation, I think the police was leaning on them and that. They kind of folded on me. Like, they're saying, basically, because of this song and what you're saying in this song, your risk is going up, has basically gone up, and we can't manage you in open conditions. So you got to go back to a normal jail because of this song. You feel what I'm saying? So I went back now, shipped out, get me back to normal prison, and they're telling me, before you go back up for your parole, they want you to do a course and that. Obviously, you've been in jail, man, they know about them courses to help you get out and get your DCAT or whatever. So I had to go back, do a course that they initially said I don't need to do. You know what I'm trying to say? But they just, you know what I mean? Go back, do the course, and go for your parole again, which I was waiting for at the end of the 18 months. So that came around now. And then I went for parole, but I'm telling them, listen, man, I'm trying to go home now. Like, you know, I don't want to go back to open jail. You see what I'm dealing with? And then they had a little sit down and that. they was half, you know what, yeah? They had half no leg to stand on to let me out, innit? But they said, what we're gonna do, we're gonna research what you've been up to in the last, like the last year or so. You understand what I'm trying to say? And what they did to build their argument to send me back, yeah? When I got to the DCAT before, if you're with me, when I first got it, and before I got kicked out, I had a couple man visit me, you know what I'm saying, that I knew from the system. You get what I'm saying? And basically, because they're criminal records, they use that to say, because I was basically saying the music ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just making my music, whatever. It's past, whatever, however I'm playing it, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're basically saying, no, you've had these people come visit you, which are criminals. Well, I've been in jail 6 years, 7 years. Who else do I... You don't want me to associate with my old friends. Where am I going to make new friends? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So these guys are coming to show me love. They've left the system, come back to show me love. So they're now saying, you make music about these kind of people, and now they're coming to see you, so this must be real. So that means that you're not fit to go out. You got to go back to DCAT. So they sent me back to open jail on that basis.
That's madness.
And then I end up doing an extra 15 months on top of the 18 months and the little, gaps waiting for a parole window. That's probably like 2-3 months. That's how I end up being 3.5 years. And then obviously I went back. I didn't make no music whilst I was in the DCAT, and I just got my parole and boom.
So what was it like for you? Obviously you're 18, you go into jail, everybody knows who you are. Well, the majority of people know who you are. They must have heard about you.
Yeah, no, of course, because obviously, man come from the streets as well, the roads, whatever, you get me? So I know man from the road, man know me. Like, there's man in there that listen to man's music. Like, not even on no, like, dick rider or nothing like that. Like, man from the roads, everyone's in there. They know I listen to some of their music, you know what I'm saying? So it's just love. It was love. I've never, ain't no bullying thing or nothing like that, or man I just always got love from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, like, obviously, you gotta always have your wits about you, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Because that does happen in jail. Like, so a man might literally come up to you and say, yo, Wagwan. You say Wagwan, and he just bangs you in your face. Like, and you're thinking, raw, like, whoa. You gotta get it cracking though, you know what I'm saying?
So your first day though, take it back. Your first day, what goes through your mind?
But I've been in jail twice.
So the first
ever time.
Yeah, the first time as a young offender. What goes through your mind your first day when you got...
Before I beat that case, and I was in jail, cause I done 7 months of remand, beat the case, when I was in jail the first time, I literally thought it was not like a dream, but I thought someone's gonna come and turn this off and say it's a mistake. You know that was there? Yeah. But it never came, brother. You know what I'm trying to say? I was like, I just read it, but at the time, I just had to go off what my man them was telling me when they were gone in and come out, like, oh yeah, do this, that. So it's like, you know when someone talks to you about something and you ain't been there, like maybe a holiday, then you go there and say, oh, that's what Posty was talking about. Yeah, that's just how it is. Okay. So it's like I was trained from the road for jail. Already.
Can you give us any details into how you actually got arrested? Can you remember that day? Because I always kind of...
that was a bad day.
Yeah, like that feeling of maybe what if I didn't do this or what if I didn't do that? What was that like for you?
Basically, not to get too into anything, I was I got caught like firearm transaction, really and truly, you know what I'm saying? But what's so crazy, we was under surveillance. So cut a long story short, just after the transaction went down, like we're like riding, and then if you know about a hard stop, that's when they just they just fly in, like you ain't moving. You gotta be on some transporter driving to slide out of that. So when that happened, at first I'm just seeing white guys, like they're in plain clothes, but they got the straps out and that, and I'm thinking, shit, what the fuck going on here? Like who's this? But it's until I looked and I see the police hats. That's when I clocked shit. And then I remember they had me, my co-D and that just outside, like people coming to save. It was a sunny day as well. I was going to a party that day. They just had us on the road, and you know, like people was like, oh, you know, like trying to help us, like leave them alone.
Oh, was it in Peckham? Yeah.
No, I didn't get nicked in Peckham. I got nicked like out of the city. I got nicked in like what we would call country. I got nicked in Aylesbury.
Oh, okay, and people were still trying to say leave them alone.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they was rough handling, man. You know, like
You was going to the off ends party.
no, I was going off ends to handle my shit and then fly back down to the ends to party. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it was literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was like people were trying to help us and that. It was just so like the only word for it is just embarrassing because you know the people trying to help us. Then the Jakes was just like, yeah, what about this? And obviously the things in the like, you know what I'm trying to say. So people was like, all right, cool, like leave them with it. So yeah, and just I remember I will never forget the police officer, a black man as well, you know. He come to me. I'm on my knees. You feel me? Like knees, whatever. Outside, hot day. He's come to me, and he's tapped me on the shoulder. Like, he's like that. It's like a movie. He's tapped me on the shoulder. He said, this is his exact words. He said, "Don't worry about nothing. We know the score." And I was like, I just, you know, just on that Peckham shit, just stern, whatever. And he's like, Boo said that, innit? Rare. He's like, you just come out of jail, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're going back today, like that. He said, don't worry, you're going back today. Then that's what that's what I do. Yeah, man's fucked, fam. You know, like that.
So you spent over like in total, you spent what about 9 years in jail, and you're like 27, which is about close to half of your life.
Yeah, straight up.
Obviously now you're on the straight and narrow. I can't imagine you'll want to be going back there anytime soon.
Hell no, free guys.
So obviously, like, you know, we're living in a day and age where everything's kind of like visualized and like the people that are growing up now that might be 18, 19 might have been watching you when they were like 13, 14 sort of things, you know what I mean? So with you kind of had living the life and now you're focused on music, you're focused on being a man and doing what you need to do. What kind of
advice?
Yeah, what kind of advice can you give any young people out there that are kind of getting into things that they don't need to be? Or
look, my thing is this, innit? Like, we're products of that environment, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? I see that guy, what's his name? That drill minister guy. Like, he was breaking it down the other day, innit? You know what I'm saying? So, like, we're products of that environment, innit? So, I'm from that life. I understand that life fully, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? But what my advice to the youths is, the consequences of these actions that you're doing, they hold weight. It's a serious thing, innit? So, like I'm saying, I understand where you're coming from. I understand you wanna get fresh, you wanna get money. I understand that someone might have hurt you or your brethren or your family, and you wanna handle that in whatever way, shape, or form with whatever you're doing. But just always think before you make that deal or you take that step, or a man hands you something and says, yeah, let's, you know what I'm saying, step out and that, or ride out, whatever you want to call it. Just always think, brother, you pull that trigger and you get caught for that shit, you're doing a 30. Like, man don't get appeals and that all that shit, it happens, but it's 99 to 1 on that. You're doing 30. You know what I'm trying to say? You get caught up in some real drugs and that, you're going to do a 10, do 5, or 8, 7 at least. You know what I'm trying to say? 3.5 years. If you got youth, you got family, all these things get affected. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you got a girl that's gone. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you have a girl before you went in?
Oh, yeah, I had a girl.
So what was that like mentally? Like, obviously, like, I know what it's like when you're 18 as well. I remember when I was 18, you think you're going to get married to that whoever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was my team.
I hear that. Yeah, so what happened? Because that's an interesting one. Chams, we spoke to Chams about it recently, and she said back in the day, she would have waited.
Yeah, of course.
If her man went in. But now, today, the person she is today, she ain't waiting.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? You see, when you're young, even girls at that time, they ain't really got much popping for themselves at the time, innit? So I understand why you would wait. Same way we think this is your everything. Yeah. She's my everything at the time. They're thinking the same thing. Obviously, not every girl, but so I understand. But my thing is this: when I had a girl, I went through that little 6 months, 7 months, trying to, maybe even a year, holding on, and I'm just adding more stress. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've been on remand, I done 2.5 years on remand as well, so it's just more stress. Like, I'm trying to hold on to the thing and that. Like, she might not pick up when I'm calling and, you know, like, arguing. I can't pattern it. Like, yo, I'm coming to your house now and it can't do. It's just long, fam. You get me? It's long. It's adding extra bird to your bird, fam.
Extra weight on your shoulders.
So you've seen people, sorry, Viz, have you seen people
I've seen people like break down. Yeah. I've seen man breaking down, like real niggas as well, like breaking down, like, heart to heart. Like, I know man break down on the road, but I'm saying different type of, like, man's acting out of character, fam. You know what I'm saying? Man's shouting down the phone. Like, yeah, man, their whole month's fucked up because they're arguing with their girl every day. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Viz, would you let go? Do you think you would let go?
Yes, done.
You have to let go.
Would you let go? I'm all or nothing. I'm all or nothing. It's long.
Because it's unfair as well.
But you see man breaking down on road as well.
Yeah, of course. But you see jail, you have to understand, yeah, man are stripped down to their lowest. Like, you see on road, you can buy clothes, you could cover up your pain, you feel what I'm trying to say? But you see in jail, one, if you're not patterned by your family or your niggas them on road or whoever, you ain't got no peas, you're not patterned, brother. Like, this is real deal. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's got to end.
It's got to, you know what I'm trying to say? So you see the real man, like you see, like, like, the pain is different in jail. You know
Posty, what are you saying then?
Would I hold on?
Yeah. You're a hold on guy. You're one of them R&B brothers, really.
Yeah, man, I'm holding on, man.
Are you really holding on, yeah?
To everyone. I'm joking.
You know what?
I let go.
I'll advise this, yeah.
I don't believe. Would you let go?
Yeah, I think I'd have to let go for my mental state of mind. Assume the worst.
Yeah.
I let go in the sense of this. Like, I let go on you on that type of relationship, but you can still hold me down. If you want to come check me, like, I don't care. Like, when I'm on the visit and I'm trying to get in and that, I don't like get in with my girl and do my thing. I don't care what she's doing outside. I'm not fooling myself. You get me? But for this moment or that moment where I'm on the phone, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm gonna enjoy it. You get me? But I'm gonna be real with myself and know that Posty, Viz might be hitting my thing, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I definitely did. That was real? Your boy over there.
Is that
you can't say that. The viewers will believe you.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is.
You know what? So when you've come out, you've hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
When you was inside though, was you rapping as well? Was there people in there rapping? Was there like any of that happening? Any of that activity
you know
happening?
What? I used to write a lot of bars in my cell because that's just when you're in your cell, there's literally only so much you could do. You know what I'm trying to say? So if it's not the music, well, music and writing, same thing. I used to listen to a lot of music anyway in jail. That's most of my thing, you know what I mean? So if I'm not, I used to write to pass time. But you see, like the wing on the wing in the showers rapping, and I wasn't really on all that, you get me? Like, I could count on one hand probably the amount of times I've been in a, what they call that, cypher. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, there's bare wing ciphers and that, you get me? Like,
there must have been bare people calling you out though.
Yeah, of course, no, but that's what it'll happen though. Like, you know, I'll come to the shower, see what's good, like, booze, come man, come, drop something. Come on, right, cool. Then I'll just give them a little 1632 and I'll just slide back out, you get me? But sometimes it's good, you get me? It builds the what's the word? The morale, you get me? Like, everyone, it livens up the day, you get me? You know what I'm saying? But not every day though.
So obviously, like, a lot of like your entourage, especially gigs, have gone from
rags to riches,
leaps to boundaries, or whatever that term and wording is. And you were kind of watching that incarcerated. Mm-hmm. How did that feel? Like, what kind of moments do you feel like you missed?
Bittersweet, man. Bittersweet. That's the term. Like, but because I know, as long as they're doing it, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get to it like that. So that always, I never a hating thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's, you know, like whipping excursion at that GRM Daily and that. You know what I'm saying? When everyone was on stage, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching that on my tech. You know what I'm saying? Like on my phone and that. Like,
legendary.
You
must have reloaded that.
Yeah, I reloaded that bare times.
That clip, even I reloaded that like 100 times.
I'm in the cell. You see what you do in your cell, yeah? When you see an event. Me personally, niggas might not keep it real, but me, I'll be myself just picturing
where you would
what I would be doing. Like,
yeah.
I've all accepted the
visualizing it.
I've all accepted awards in myself.
Like, which ones did you win?
Like I'm always sent to the awards in my cell. You know what I'm saying? Like
what rated award do you win?
Best UK rapper or something, like, you know, thanks Post, you know what I'm saying? So I feel it, you know what I'm trying to say? Like just things like that, like, you know, like tapes dropping, just missing it all, like, you know, like even sometimes I will see like certain rappers that I ain't even met before, they'll pay homage, like they might not even know that I'm in jail, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I grew up on booze, things like that, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just, yeah, like them moments there, just seeing gigs and that progress, just seeing the old team, but like all of that, it just.
So if you could pick one moment you was really kicked yourself and you thought,
that landlord tour, you know.
Yeah.
That landlord tour, gigs and or the first headline show in London.
Yeah, that was a big day.
That was a big deal. You get me? Yeah, that
was a big day.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, I want to ask you something. So obviously, when you were younger, you might have. I don't want to incriminate you, but I assume that you might have been
a bit active on the street, like that kind of.
Nah, just you might have been privy to some sort of postcode.
All of that.
Postcode war kind of
like
stuff.
The gang stuff.
Yeah. Now, obviously, in your age now, I don't really see that as being a part of your life.
No, of course not.
I don't really think that you're on that. But it is common these days of people from like different areas and that like beefing each other. Mm-hmm. Can you shed some light on why these things still happen in terms of like area codes, all of that kind of stuff, and how they could be stopped?
You see what it is, yeah. Everyone talks about how it can be stopped, yeah. But the reality is this. I'll say one thing for sure, they need to take their eyes off the music. Because that's not the cause of anything. You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, it's all part of our culture, like it runs hand in hand, but that's not the problem. The problem is people's homes, you know what I'm trying to say? People's parents, like, you know, like you can't help it. Certain people, they're just literally born into this thing. They're born on that estate, you know what I'm trying to say? So I understand from that point of view. But for me, I was one of them people, like, I'm born and raised in Peckham, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and if you know Peckham, especially when I was growing up, we're boxed in. You know what I'm trying to say? We got Lewisham on one side, you got Brixton on the other side, and all the other ends surrounding, fuck with them, if that makes sense. Like, they even at the time might link up, and we ain't got no friends. Our friends are only Peckham, Wharf Road, but that's basically Peckham, you know what I'm trying to say? So for me, I didn't know no better, you know what I'm trying to say? That's all I know. So for me, on that subject there, it's like, if you're not like that, like you don't, like, there's certain man out here now, they proper know better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got uni youths, you know what I mean? Like, you're a good guy, you know what I'm trying to say? I would just say, be yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't force it. Like, don't force your way into this thing because it's that's what you think a girl wants, or that's what you need to impress the man them or nothing. Like, be yourself, brother.
You mentioned something interesting there, yeah. So don't feel the pressure, don't force it. Like, if you don't have to live that way or that lifestyle.
No one has to. Yeah. Not even me. Man didn't have to.
True.
But it's like, man felt like man never had the choice. You know what I'm trying to say? That there's a difference, you know, like, there's a difference in knowing you have a choice and feeling like, you know what I mean? It's like when you're in school and they're telling you, oh yeah, you gotta go uni and do this and study this to get here. That seems long. It seems impossible. That's why you turn too quickly. Bruv, my next door neighbor, you know what I mean? He's trapped in, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, man talking about giving me a rack now. I'm 15. You're talking about me getting a rack, like, in almost 10 years' time. You know what I'm trying to say?
So some of those like young people that you're referring to now, want to be musicians and have even started their music career. Of course. Can you do road and music at the same time?
It's not gonna last very long because you know what it is, like, a lot of rappers and that, like, I know they would like to think that they're heavy in the streets and that, and they're proper with that shit that they're talking, but you're not that heavy. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the only reason why you're cutting through. Like, the Jakes ain't onto you. Because if you're really on shit, the Jakes are onto you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they work. The Jakes work on talk and that. So you're not gonna be able to literally be out here doing mad stuff day in, day out. Everyone, your name's in the streets everywhere, then you're rapping about it. Like, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm trying to say? Unless you're on some covert, mad, tight-knit operation. You know what I'm trying to say? Which this is not. I know they would like to think we're on, like, niggas are on that shit, but it's not like that. It's simple shit. The things you're doing, if you're really doing it, you're gonna get caught out simple. And the Jakes, the music will anger. They take that shit personal to me. Like, they take that shit like, raw, you're doing shit on the road and you're rapping about it. We're coming, we gotta put a stop to you. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you can't.
That's really interesting you say that as well. It's another thing, like, I went to support once in court, right?
Okay.
And again, the same thing that happened to you happened to this particular person, where they're reading out lyrics in court.
Yeah.
And it caught me by surprise. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that is entertainment.
Exactly.
The way I see it, right? So what advice do you give to the youths in that space then, like with rapping?
Listen,
about...
Cut all that diss track shit out, man. You know what I mean? You know what's so crazy? I remember back in the day, like when you were saying all that shit about back in the day with that postcode. I remember, like, when the man then from my ends was kind of getting into it and doing all that stuff. I remember I went to make I must have said something one time on a tune. And this is what I mean about Gigs. Like, Gigs has always been on point for these kind of things. I remember he's like, bruv, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, like, what? So you're going to tell them you're doing this and you got a problem with this person. Then you're going to go do something to this person. And then you're going to go on, like, if they arrest you if something does happen to, what if not, say you didn't do nothing, someone else does something to that person. You're now a suspect for what, for what? You know what I'm trying to say? You're just hotting your whole thing up. It doesn't make sense. It's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if you do ever get caught for doing anything of that sort of nature, they're going to use that shit against you. Like you said, you got a problem with Tom. This is what you said in your lyrics. You get me? Now you're in a situation where you're in court looking at a 25, maybe a 30, and you got to convince these 12 jewelry people, white people, don't know shit about this shit, that, no, I didn't mean that. It was entertainment. Brother, you're going down, fam. You're going to catch a guilty. And you're going to be sitting in jail for 30 years thinking, why did I even do that in the first place? And then why did I make a song about it? And then to top it all off, when you get them type of years, you end up in a dispersal system where the things run a certain way, where the people that you're even in beef with, you lot can't even beef no more. You know what I'm trying to say? Because of the way the jail, that's technical shit, but man up in jail, they know what I'm talking about. So you just risk a 30, got a 30, 25, now you're chilling with your pagans. You know what I mean? Because you wanted to make a rap song.
No, definitely. Let's talk about the tape. Let's talk about some of the features on the tape.
Strictly for the streets.
Obviously, we expected Gigs. That video just dropped.
Yeah.
Everyone check that out.
Round 1.
I expected Sus.
Yeah.
I think Sus reminds me... Sus kind of reminded me of you, actually, when we first met.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, his kind of age.
Okay.
And his kind of role.
In the set.
Yeah, like his energy sort of thing.
Yeah, you got mad energy.
To be fair, you never had mad energy.
Nah.
You got good energy now.
I can't talk Sus's energy. Sus don't run out.
How long have you known Sus?
But Sus has been like that. One thing I said on my life, he's been like that. I've known him from a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like house party days. I think I probably went to my first or second house party with Suspect. Like, it's that real. He been like that though. Like, he been having energy. Like, he don't switch off.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's like, even like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he don't chill. Like, even like, you know, like weed might slow someone down. Like, it don't slow him down at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it charges him more up.
Yeah.
If he wasn't on weed, he might even be like even more.
Which
is crazy.
You know what I'm trying to say?
He's vibes.
But yeah, he's just vibes, innit? But yeah.
Alright, so you've known Sus since you was
I've known
younger.
him since
so
a kid, 12, 11.
we expected that. I didn't expect K-Trap. How did that one come about?
Trap. How did I get in? No, just mutual man them, innit? Like, man them that fuck with them man there. I was like, yo, fam, for drill, you forget even saying drill, for rap, like, he's one of the youngest cold guys out there right now. And you know when you feel a man's thing, like I like feel music, innit? Like, I feel like, yo, Yeah, you know something about that, what you're talking about, you know what I'm trying to say? So I reached out to him. I just told my dog, like, yo, shout my man, tell him we need to do something for my tape. And K-Trap, he's probably one of the realest guys I've come across in this industry so far. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, no joke thing. He just come down. We went to the studio, laid it both there, and then, you get me? I saw him without the mask and that. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you feel me? Like, yeah. That's how that came.
Yeah, big up K-Trap. You can check out NFTR meets K-Trap as well. That's on the channel now.
Go get that re-up. That's his latest thing, innit?
Yeah, I think for what you set out to to do with the tape, you actually have done it. You know, it is called Strictly for the Streets, and you ticked all the boxes that you kind of needed to.
100.
Where do we go from here? We're gonna shoot some videos.
Yeah, shoot some videos. We're trying to get them shows in. That's the next step. That's phase 2. Right now, to me, the tape, it's just. That's just the first quarter of this, you know, of this I would say the
transition.
Yeah, the transition. Like that's just it. The second quarter is just, I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna work on the next project, obviously, and just work on getting them shows and getting. You know what I mean?
Because I feel like you got a kind of, your situation is a special case because it's like, I feel like, not saying that you haven't done any work, because you have done, but because you've been, like, you do work, you go away for a long time, you do work. So you're like, I always can't say this word. How do you say it? Discography? Is it discography?
Discography.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
It's not super wide yet.
No.
But your name outweighs the amount of work you put into. You must have like people from all sorts of age ranges,
of course,
that know who you are. And I feel like it is really time now to kind of
it's just
set your legacy.
Right now it's like I'm just solidified, like, because it's like a lot of the rappers and that, a lot of the niggas from before, like obviously they know, man.
Yeah.
But it's like maybe their fans don't understand, like, why'd you like chat about this guy or talk to this guy, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is I'm trying to do now. It's like I'm basically like opening like, you know when a ride gets broken down, like, it's basically I'm just opening it back. I'm opening the lane back, like, yo, this is back. You know what I'm trying to say? And to new people that don't really know about it, it's just, I'm trying to solidify that. You get me? Cause I'm just trying to stay in my own lane. I'm trying to make my own, I'm trying to bring this hard gangster shit all the way back, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
When you first stepped back into South London, after all these many years and experienced gentrification, what was that like for you?
You know, the first place I see it in, sad to say, was Bricky, innit? Like, I went Bricky, I went past Baghdad, well, that's what it's called. Shout out Stinks and them. Free Tiny A as well. What's it called? I went past the Dads and that's Mitesfield, and I was just like, fam, like, what they done? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what have they done? Like, I'm thinking, them man must be hurting, you know what I'm saying? And then I start hearing about Peckham, because I'm banned from Peckham. I can't even go around there, you know what I'm trying to say? But I start hearing about Peckham and I'm just like, raw, like, they're really trying to change man's whole ends and neighborhood and that, you get me? But as much as I love that, cause I come from that, I love the estates, I love the griminess, I love all of that, you get me? But it's not good, innit? You know?
Where did you shoot on the corner then? Well, that wasn't...
Brother, let me clear that up.
That weren't Peckham?
That, to me, that's East Dulwich, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, that's East Dulwich there.
Dog Kennel Hill.
Dog Kennel Hill.
Estate.
Brother, you are Peckham, that's Peckham, innit? We go, that's all of our, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's what we... You know me? So people trying to do the geography thing and telling me...
geography lesson.
Yeah, you know, like that, trying to tell me, that's not... Bruv, I know where the fuck I'm at. I know my ends. That's Peckham to me, innit? You get me? Anywhere I'm at is Peckham. So if I want to go East Dulwich and say that's Peckham, innit? The only reason why I did is filled with Peckham, because I'm banned from there. I know where the fuck I'm at.
So
how long are you banned for?
Yeah.
God knows, man. They just set these rules and I just follow them. I don't even... You know what it is? I don't want to ask them questions and say, like, when's this? Because they're basically trying to say, if you go Peckham, this is what makes sure... It's like maybe when I walk into Peckham, my criminal mind turns on, or maybe I might... You know, I don't know. Like, I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't need to be there. So I don't want them to make them feel that I want to be there. So I don't even ask them how long. So
if you could go Peckham today, though, where would you go?
I'll go straight to the... I'll shoot a video straight in Yellow Brick right now. Sumner Road as well. And Frontline. I have to do a whole tour. I have to do a whole tour. We have to get NFTR follows him around Peckham. You know what I'm trying to say? I'd shoot a video.
Let me ask you a question. One of the biggest PYG kind of songs I feel like was Gunna D's Black Gang.
I was in jail for that, brother.
Okay, how did that feel? Because I remember that was one of the first.
Oh yeah, he's bringing Bear Man was on that.
That was a big tune. That was a big tune.
Like things like that. Yeah, things like that. It just, you know, like, I know I'm supposed to be on the lineup. Like, you know, I was there. I just know. So it just, it's just when I was in jail, that stuff was going on. I was stressed. Them things used to stress me out, brother. Yeah, but those are the things I missed the most. Like, just being around my man and that. You get me?
Yeah.
Because I'm prominent in the set. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know what I mean?
Onwards and upwards now, though, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. But, you know, like, them things made, man, innit? So I don't ever shy away from it.
All right.
No, definitely. All right, well, thank you for joining us. Obviously, if you didn't know,
Strictly for the Streets is out right now.
Oh, hold on. One last thing. The documentary I'm hearing about.
Oh, yeah. Fucking no. I can't forget that.
Break that down. What can we expect from this?
The documentary is basically just documenting my last... Is that a fire, fam?
Are we on fire? Are we lit?
We lit.
We're good.
The documentary is documenting my last times in jail. So basically me coming from open jail, making the whole of Strictly for the Streets. Basically, you might as well call that the making of the Strictly for the Streets, because the whole of that was made whilst I was on home news and town visits and that. You get me? So yeah, that's what that's about. And you're going to see maybe a little insight of what it's like, me going back and forth from the jails and and maybe my recording process, and, you know, just get to know a bit more behind, man, than the, you know, what I don't know what you think, but you're going to know from that a little bit more.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate your time and we wish you nothing but the best for the future.
Love.
Very exciting music to come. Love, brother.
Strictly for the Streets out now. Go get that. Respect. Love.
Sn1.
Tiny boost. Subscribe.